Welcome to the Carmelite Quotes podcast, where we share Carmelite wisdom to encourage and inspire. This episode continues our Marie du Jour series of Marian Reflections. Today's reflection is titled Mary's Ordinary Life, and we'll share an excerpt from Bishop Silvio José Báez's homily for the Solemnity of the Immaculate Conception that was preached on December 8, 2022. But before we dive into the quote, let's take a moment to learn more about Bishop Báez. He is the Auxiliary Bishop of Managua and a member of the Discalced Carmelite Order. His homilies and teachings resonate deeply with Catholics throughout Europe and the Americas. He is also a passionate advocate for religious freedom in his native Nicaragua. Now, let's listen to Bishop Báez's reflection on Mary's ordinary life. At the end of the Gospel account of the Annunciation of the Lord to the Virgin Mary, we hear that the angel departed from her. He simply left. Our Lady's life was spent in the simplest daily routines, like the life of any other young woman of Nazareth. Mary, full of grace, was not spared the fatigue of living, the weariness of daily work, and the difficulties and problems of every human being. Mary knew the arduous path of faith. She was often plunged into the darkness of the night, and a sword pierced her soul at the foot of the cross. Nevertheless, in Mary's life, God's grace, which had filled her from the first moment of her being, was not received in vain. She was always full of grace, the all-beautiful one, Tota Pulchra, as we acclaim her in hymns and antiphons. What is the secret of the beauty of Mary's life? The Virgin Mary was the transparency of God. Mary was accustomed to listening to God. She spent much time in dialogue with him. Bishop Báez beautifully reveals that Mary's ordinary life was extraordinary because she was accustomed to listening to God and spent much time in dialogue with him. In a society where we often glorify productivity and busyness, Mary's example offers us a different path. Her life reminds us that holiness can be found in the simple daily routines of life. The Virgin Mary embraced the fatigue, weariness, and challenges of ordinary life while remaining full of grace. Her secret does lie in her profound relationship with God. Mary listened attentively to his word. She treasured it in her heart, and she dialogued with God in prayer. Sinless and completely open to God's will, Mary embodied the transparency of God, perfectly reflecting his love and grace. Thank you for listening to the Carmelite Quotes podcast. Please subscribe and share this episode with someone you know who could use some inspiration and encouragement. To explore more Carmelite wisdom from our saints and authors, you can visit our blog at carmelitequotes.blog. And for more insights from Bishop Silvio José Báez, you could follow him on Twitter at Silvio J. Báez. That's SilvioJBaez. That's where he frequently shares reflections on the daily gospel in Spanish. and you can also find translations of his tweets on my Twitter account, Carmelite Quotes. Music credit today goes to Sean Beeson, the media composer, and we're grateful to him. Before we go, one final thought. May we embrace the ordinary moments of life, seeking God's grace in all things, just like Mary. Blessings from Carmel.